Welcome back to the last predictions of Stage 1, and we're here in EU with EUL, Europe MENA League now because MENA was ported over. Unfortunately, they haven't gotten a single team here because what was ex-Falcons, who played as Super Noobs and then Twisted Minds, was unable to get through the Challenger Series, quite surprisingly. But Robbie did leave them, so they didn't have Robbie playing, so maybe that was one of the reasons. Now, the huge news, huge, I don't know, is that G2 signed Stompin. Now, I have my opinions on this. I don't think it's a particularly good signing, not because Stompin is bad, but because the team doesn't make sense. I mean, Uno was really the hard support. I mean, nowadays, of course, roles are not exactly how they were 5 years ago, but you need someone there to support the team. Who's going to be there? I mean, of course, people can play ace and still frag out. I mean, Thermite also a great fragging operator, but someone has to be there as the back line, and I feel like that's lacking in G2. And trying to make these super teams is gonna continue to fail for them. Now, of course, they're gonna do well. I mean, they're not gonna come last, but they will. They won't come first. But okay. Um, we also got some interesting changes. Uh, Wolves, they got rid of Oscar, got Kregs. I went to Cyber Motor 8 and I saw a Wolves Fnatic, Secret, um, Genji was Ends, all these teams in person. And yeah, I mean, to be honest, Wolves didn't impress me, but neither did Secret. I think Secret underperformed that tournament. Fnatic did impress me, but they did replace Jaxu with Wizard. I don't know. Jax was okay, but he wasn't amazing, so maybe it's a good choice. Genji, they they brought in Asa as a sub, and they kept him after winning the Cyber Malta. So I think they're off. They're a good team, and they have potential. VP Ever Strong, Wild, Memsy Evan. They fucked me once in a game we played. Um, yeah, so this is going to be quite tight. Obviously, Falcons. I mean, they're the favorites, but I do think Falcons can drop a map in best of ones. You know, if you tell me who's going to win the grand final here, I'll tell you Falcons. Who's going to win the league? Not necessarily Falcons. Now, as per usual, let's start with bottom. And I think for my bottom pick, I will pick Machko Esports. Why? Because it's a good team, and I mean they won Challenger Series, but uh, Gemini is not there anymore, and I don't know. When I watched them, they were also in Malta. It didn't look perfect. I mean, obviously nothing is ever perfect, but I think they could have done a lot better. Now for the ninth spot, I'm almost tempted to put Wolves. I don't know. In Malta, I really didn't like how they played. Um, I remember because Genji was sitting behind me and they were watching. Who were they watching? It was one of it was Fnatic and Secret playing. I think I can't remember. And they're like, "Oh, these guys are not really good. We should beat them." And then they went and lost to them. So yeah, that was funny. Um, for that reason, I almost want to put them in ninth. Wild have impressed me, honestly, and I've played these two, so this is a tough league to predict. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put Wolves in ninth. Um, yeah, would suck if they did come in ninth, but I think it could happen. And I'm gonna put Wild in eighth. I think it's a good team with a lot of potential, but they're not just there yet. Now, who do I put in seventh? Genji could be in seventh. I really do think Secret should work. I mean, Mowgli is a really good player. June, Noah's decent. Adrian is a bit of a question mark. He's a bit of a question mark. His BDS team is also a big question mark. I really like it. I really like Virtue. P4, oh my god, destroyed me once. I have a friend who knows Frag. Um, Robbie coming from Falcons, they had a very weird strategy at Reload that I think could have worked but didn't. Um, I'm gonna. But they Wilson Wild could go high. I'm gonna go with Genji in seventh, which sucks for them because they miss out on the playoffs if that's the case. For six, I'm gonna put Fnatic. No, yeah, I'm gonna put Fnatic. I don't know what Wizard is gonna bring. I think it's a good team, but they'll barely make it through. Now for the fifth spot, for me, it's gonna have to be G2. They have the firepower, but they don't have the team structure. It's you need the team to perform well to go through. And I just don't think this G2 is gonna work. I mean, it could, of course. Don't get me wrong. Like, definitely could work, but I don't know. I'm a big fan of Virtus Pro's playstyle. A very methodical, slow. I know it's gone out of fashion. I know it's very hard to make it work, and they've been adapting. But I really like this disciplined siege that others are not. Swing everything, peek everything. I like the discipline that Virtus Pro brings. I think they've been refining it to adapt to the new way of playing Siege, for a couple years. It looked very shaky from Empire Virtus Pro. It didn't look good, but now I think Virtus Pro is in a good spot. And I think Secret. Oh no, but there's still BDS. BDS is gonna get fourth. I think this team has a lot of potential, and I think they'll close out the easy games, but they will struggle at the top. I really like Virtue. No, no, no. I'm gonna put them up in third. It's a bold prediction, and I like bold predictions sometimes. And I'll put Secret in fourth. Now, do I think G2 could get third? Yes. Do I think they will? Probably not. Um, yeah. In second, obviously, I'm going to be going with Virtus Pro. This pick might surprise a few, because I think in best of ones, Virtus Pro are not very good. I mean, previous seasons has been questionable. Let's see, Europe stage 2, I think they got like 6. Yeah, they barely made it through. And then they got third, right? So, yeah, questionable to say the least. But I believe that they fixed their problems and they will come second. Falcons, I'm putting them on top. However, they could lose the best of one. That is not out of the question. So this is quite difficult to predict. Now, I think I got the top 6 right. Now, they could shuffle a bit, but I think this roughly right. And also Genji, XNs, has a lot of potential. Because, yeah, yeah, yeah. Nah, I think I'm gonna go with this. Like, G2, I'm always like, G2's gonna do well, G2, and they never do. And now, what is this? I mean, it's more Brazil than it is Europe, huh? Blaz and Doki. How are they even allowed to play in Europe when, I mean, yeah, 2 players counts as majority, I suppose. Yeah, this is tough. But yeah, I'm gonna have to say this doesn't work out for G2. Maybe they struggle a bit in the first stage, and then in the playoffs they manage to fix it and somehow get like, I don't know, good finish. But Europe has 5 esports World Cup spots, which I don't quite get why they have 5 and Brazil only 4 when Brazil is clearly the better region. But okay. Yeah, Fnatic. I really like Deepak. Um, I think this is what I'm predicting. It's a bit bold, but yeah. I don't think G2 make it. Virtus Pro does well. BDS does well. Secret does decent. Yeah, this is good for me. These are all my predictions. I will be back for the playoffs. Hopefully, I'm not a fool, and this all comes true.